Hey y'all, Gorilla Van Savage, back again. Let me say that one more time. Gorilla, Vandal, Savage, back again. That's how it runs. Anyways, I am back today to give my opinion on, you ready for it? The CW. Yeah. I just want everyone to know I saw Batwoman, the TV series, not person who plays Batwoman. No. But anyways, I saw the first episode of the premiere season, and we'll talk about that, Supergirl, and my thoughts and predictions for what's coming in these series, you know, as they tie together. First off, Batwoman. I was disappointed and I was excited at the same time. I was excited because it felt a lot like a female version of Arrow that we got when we first had Arrow premiere for the first time. It was very cool. I liked it. It was wow. The only thing that I have to say I didn't really like is, and I know I'm going to get a lot of feedback for this, but hey, I got to say my opinion on this. I didn't really like how they were pushing it so much to be, you know, a woman can do anything and men are just, you know, not right there with men or whatever. And men are not right there with women, I'd say, you know, she's training out in the middle of nowhere, you know, with some Eskimo to learn how to become better because her father didn't want her there or something, right? Batman couldn't get the job done, disappeared for 3 years. And, you know, it really felt a lot like, you know, men aren't as important as women. That's how it felt. But, every season or show that comes out always has an agenda to push it first. Like even Black Lightning, you know, it had a black vibe to push. And, you know, it got progressively better, you know. And with this tie-in that's about to happen, it can only get better, you know, unless the show just, you know, like, just sucks. But, like, I feel like Batwoman was a good start, even if it was a little bit of woman agenda pushing. But I feel like it was really good, and, you know, it has nowhere to go but up, you know? Supergirl. I like the new outfit. I hate the fact that Lena and Supergirl have created this, you know, push against each other now. I mean, it was a matter of time before it was going to happen. I just wish it had happened in the next season and not this season, you know? But season is early. Maybe she'll, you know, kind of get back with Kara and they'll be cool again and her whole, oh, I hate you won't happen until next season. But personally, I think one of the staples of Supergirl that has kind of kept it together, so to speak, is that they have had this kind of, you know, friendship in the face of, you know, my brother versus your cousin, you know? It's like, even if she didn't know that she was Supergirl and, you know, Kara and Supergirl were one and the same, like, you know, they were able to keep this kind of friendship in the face of it all. And I feel like knowing now who she is should not have changed things as much as it did. But if you've seen the previous season, you know, hey, facts are facts, I guess, right? You know. But I think that was a mistake to make them enemies now, you know, like, especially with this crossover coming, because this crossover means so much, you know. With this crossover event that's about to happen soon, I think them working together is more prevalent than ever, you know. It's like they should have been on the same page going into this, and then after this, you know, with all the different versions of Superman and Luthor and all this is going to come, that's when it would really make the most sense to say, okay, now you guys have to split apart. All the lies, all the so-and-so, it all makes sense. It's all running together. The fact of the matter is, you know, Lena can't trust Supergirl. You know, Lex might have had a point. Lex couldn't trust Superman, and they had a problem. You know, like, you know, that would just make sense to me. But, hey, I'm not a show director. You know, I don't know what gets ratings and whatever, you know. On to the event. Oh, no. On to other shows. I do not know what's in store for Flash, Arrow, Legends of Tomorrow, or even Black Lightning. But here are some of my personal opinions that I think should happen for this show that would warrant and merit, like, better ratings, First of all, I do believe that Arrow Fast Forward would be a great idea. Just because I think Stephen Amell's time is over, and a lot of his crew that was with him is over, there are a few characters I would like to see make it in this new show, like, what's it called? Wild Dog. And the girl who plays Black Siren and Black Canary. But seeing as how they're about to have a show called The Canaries, possibly, right? That would be a great way to kind of have them on the show, but not on the show. You give them their own show, and then eventually Arrow Fast Forward and The Canaries crosses. So that would be great. It would kind of feed off each other, like the new tone of Arrow and this new show working together in synergy. That plus Batwoman working with them, if they're going to be in the same universe after this crossover event, is a 3-show trifecta. It's a triple threat of great shows. So nothing but magic right there. And you can still keep the Flash Supergirl dynamic where they're working together to kind of, fight injustice in the light in a friendly, more friendly tone, Because that's one thing about the Flash and Supergirl. They use gadgets, but they don't rely on gadgets in the same manner that I would expect the Canary or Flash Forward or the Arrow Flash Forward or Batwoman to do. So it's like you can have these 3 shows relying on the gadgets, and then these 2 shows not relying on on the gadgets. And then I feel like Black Lightning could be like a good in-between, where they, they're superheroes like Flash and Supergirl, and they do rely on gadgets from time to time to still get the job done because they're still mortals, right? And at the same time, they're not afraid to fight in the day or the dark or anytime. They kind of just, they have like the best of both worlds vibe there. And if it's all going to be on the same planet, that's even better. But my one concern in this whole thing, and I've been saying this forever, is the weak link. And I've got to address the elephant in the room to that. The elephant in the room that I've got to address is that Legends of Tomorrow seems to be the weakest link in this whole team. I mean, I was always down with the time travel idea. Season 1 lost me a bit, and then season 2, 3, and so just kind of got a little bit murky, and I never quite understood what is their purpose now? What are they supposed to be doing now? First, you had to fight Vandal Savage. That was the point. But then somehow a speedster got in the mix, and they never quite nailed it down. How do you go from Vandal Savage to Time Bureau, Speedster, and Legion of Doom? I mean, it never quite made any real sense, And then what's even more is like demons got in it, and then demons from hell, and I just don't know. I don't know, man. Like, if they're time hoppers, and then they became dimension hoppers, so they were time and space hoppers, or whatever you'd want to call them, right? That would make a lot of sense, because essentially what it is that these people are inspecting. Like they're like the field agents that inspect time and space to make sure things don't go awry, And that would make for great storytelling, but it feels like in this whole, Arrowverse thing, they're thinking too small, too one-dimensional. They're not able to kind of flesh it out in a way a cartoon would. And then on top of which, they're not able to get away with as much as a cartoon would. That's why the story has little holes in it that just kind of like, how did you go from A to F, or from D to H, I just don't understand. There's a couple things missing, but I guess that's the magic of, being able to come out with an episode a couple episodes later and say, here's how we connect those dots. But I just feel that with the way Legends of Tomorrow has done their business, it's definitely been affected so badly that I don't even want an explanation from Legends of Tomorrow. It's like, I do and I don't. I do if you can explain it and make sense and it doesn't hurt the episode and the overall tone of the series, of the season. Like, the season of that series, right? But I don't want an explanation because it's taken so long, It's like, if they were to give an explanation now of how we went from Vandal Savage to Time Bureau to Reverse Flash to Legion of Doom to Demons, the whole shebang. If they were going to somehow do that, even explain how is it that Constantine got on their ship in the first place, And it's like, hey, this demon knows your name. It's like, if they could somehow explain that in one episode, that wouldn't be like, but wait, this episode don't make any sense. And, it wouldn't have to be like one of those flashback episodes where it's like we have to recount everything that happened prior to this episode, It's just like, if you could just kind of have an episode where all the details are there, all the pieces are there, all you gotta do is put them together and say, okay, bada boom, makes sense to me, then I'm fine with it. I'll take it. But I don't think that's possible. That's why I wouldn't want that episode. But on to this crossover event. This crossover event is going to be amazing. This crossover event won't be Infinity Wars amazing because, let's be honest, the first episode of Infinity Wars for Marvel was good. The second one I could have done without. I mean, it's like, the whole time heist thing ruined it for me. I'm sorry. No way. Not going to happen, bro. This movie, barring any wild, silly shenanigans like a time heist, okay, will be amazing. It'll be absolutely amazing. You're talking about multiple Supermen, maybe at least 2 Batmen. You're talking about every character that we've seen thus far coming together. They're even bringing back Citizen Cold. Just this is gonna be a great event. If you've seen any of the team-ups, like between Arrow and Flash, or Arrow, Flash, and the Legends of Tomorrow, and so, this is going to be great. I mean, every team-up was a little bit better or worse than the last, but it was still great, So, for this team-up, I imagine that over the course of these different shows, you're talking Arrow, Flash, Supergirl, possibly Legends of Tomorrow, Black Lightning, and I feel like I'm missing something. Supergirl. I mean, did I say Supergirl? Whatever. I just feel like you can't go wrong. You can't ruin this. With more shows on the way, you can't ruin it. You just can't. Anyone who would ruin this show, that would be a mark that they are no good. Like if a director or producer or a screenwriter wrote this show and single-handedly killed the whole thing, where it's like, oh my gosh, this crossover for every single show, the entirety of this event was so bad, then I would say fire that director, fire that producer, fire that screenwriter, and hell, you know what? Fire the makeup people and the camera people, because it was bad. That's how bad this would have to be. If this crossover between multiple shows was that bad, fire everyone. That's what I would say. But I can't imagine this being bad unless they were to pull some time heist crap. Then it's terrible. But this has got nothing but greatness coming from it. Like, honestly, I can only imagine it. What I would expect from this, because now it's time for my predictions and expectations. What I would expect from this is that going forward, we're going to have a host of new shows, along with the original shows, that would usher in a new era of the Arrowverse that would allow us to stay watching, stay interested, and still keep the whole thing fresh for us, where it's like, this is still a very, very, great product to be invested in, This is something you still want to have yourself all in on. Like, there were a lot of nights where I had to turn from something to come to this, I had to finish work for this. I had to end events for this. I had to rush home for this. And I feel like anybody who's been dedicated to this show could say the same thing. Not would say the same thing, but could say the same thing if their lives were able to kind of come in that way. Like, it's like, well, this is a really great episode I wanted to see, and I gotta go to a wedding, or I have to go to a cousin's bar mitzvah or something. And luckily I was able to watch it somewhere, or stream it, or record it, or whatever you did that made it to where you were able to see it. But I feel like that's what this will be. This crossover will usher us into the new era of freshness. Return a great level of, of viewing pleasure from this franchise. My predictions in terms of what's going to happen is, I think we might lose a character or two. I did hear that the black guy from Supergirl, who plays Jimmy Olsen, was leaving. I think we might lose one or two other characters. I'm not sure. We might get people to go from one show to another show, maybe, I don't know, and stay there. I predict that sometime soon a character might wind up gay, or something like that, like Brainiac. I think I see him in this relationship with this woman, but I'm pretty sure that he's gonna wind up gay in the end, or bi. I'm not sure. And I'm saying that because I do remember he tried to kiss Win. And when he tried to kiss Win, I know that was like a misguided thing where it's like, oh, I'm here in this time, and this is how I hear you guys express so-and-so. But now he's trying in a relationship with this woman, and she's saying, you seem like this is your first time doing this thing. So, who knows? Maybe he might be straight, maybe he might be gay, maybe he might be bi. I don't care, as long as it's good storytelling, right? I do predict that there will be at least one episode, or, I could definitely see a team-up event where it's going to be an all-women's thing. Because Marvel, was like right on it. Like, they're like, hey, we had that scene in Avengers Endgame. I feel like DC will at some point do that. If the show Canaries on their own, if and when it ever comes out, doesn't do that, I can totally see the ladies from Arrow Flash Forward, if that ever happens, the ladies from Supergirl, the ladies from The Flash, the ladies from Black Lightning, and maybe even some of the ladies from Legends of Tomorrow coming together in a event that would happen. Even Batwoman too, Batwoman. Like, where they're all coming together and getting it done. That would be a really great kind of, crossover event that I would definitely be interested in. Not just because it's like, I feel like it'd be giving these women the time to shine, but just to see how they form this connection and who's friends with who doesn't really, work well with the other. And, when they're just women on their own, how well do their powers and abilities and skill sets mesh, It's like I can't wait to see that. Just, that's gonna be awesome. It's like, I can imagine like an all-female kind of lineup, just like how when they had to battle the people from Earth X, and they have that huge lineup of people. It kind of reminds me of Power Rangers, like how when they team up and they get together in that big lineup and there's a colorful smoke behind them. I'm really a big fan of that kind of stuff. I'm looking forward to it. I love the idea of it. This is going to be nothing but greatness. That's my prediction. Also, I want to run down one thing that is definitely worrying me. I'm a little worried that with all these shows coming up, right? The time slots they're in is something that really has me worried. You got Batwoman and Supergirl on a Sunday, Flash and Black Lightning on a Monday. I kind of miss the days when Arrow was Wednesday, Flash was Tuesday, then they tried doing Legends of Tomorrow on a Thursday. If we can get back to that, that'd be great. Like, here'd be my idea, like, of how to make things great again. I would say Supergirl on a Monday, followed by Legends of Tomorrow. Flash and Black Lightning on a Tuesday, Arrow and the Canaries on Wednesday. Thursday, I would say anybody else's thing. Jane the Virgin or some of that other crap. You know, I feel like that's when we should have that. But Friday should be Batwoman and I feel like there's another show I'm missing. Batwoman and whatever else they got, you know? Whatever. I don't care. And then Sunday should be recaps, you know? Like the weekend should be a recap event where you just kind of go back over all the episodes. Especially 3 hours on Saturday and Sunday of what was happening on these other shows. In any order you choose it, you know? So at least have Flash, Arrow, Supergirl Saturday, and then Batwoman, Black Lightning, so and so on Sunday, you know? And just kind of keep it at a point where it's like, it's watchable. Because I think that would definitely get their weekend ratings up, you know? It's a recap so people can kind of jump back and see what's really good, you know? But if they don't, I feel like if they don't get those time slots, like, you know, back to like a phenomenon, like, you know, like back to like a kind of watchable time where people can kind of run in and say, I gotta get here by 6 o'clock. If I don't get here by 6 o'clock, oh my gosh, oh, I'm gonna be so mad, you know? It's like if they can get back to like some kind of weekday phenomenon, that'd be awesome. Like an event that you just have to see. But then with the recap, that would also be really great too, you know? I just feel like the ratings would be great there. And especially if you're not advertising it, like how you're going to do the time slots, like, and they have to figure it out on their own, that recaps are on Saturdays and Sundays, it'll be great. I mean, it'll still be great. But that's my opinion. And also, one thing I would really love to see is if they bring back Wildcat. Gotta bring him back. Like, I don't know what happened to Wildcat. I don't know what happened to Dr. Light. I don't know what happened to Julian and a lot of these other heroes that they had, but bring them back. Bring them back. Bring back Mr. Terrific. Bring them back. Okay? Like, I don't know what's going on there, but they need to do it. Okay? Even bring back Huntress. Bring them. Bring them. You know what I'm saying? Bring them. That's just my opinion. But that's like I said, that's my opinion on the crossover event and going thus far on the CW. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Gorilla Mando Savage.